Alrighty guys, welcome back to Kick Like a Girl episode 10. We have Chantelle Ryder from Salisbury Inter with us today. Thanks for coming on, Chants.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd never really sat down with you before.
No.
I've come across you on the pitch multiple times, unfortunately for me. But yeah, so it was cool to sort of get to know you, and I'm excited to hear your story. We weren't even friends on Facebook. You know?
I'm pretty bad with social media in general. Yeah,
that's right. I was like, obviously, like went to search you, and I was like, oh, we're not even friends. Like, well, so we're friends now. It's all good. Grew up on the Sunshine Coast. Didn't know that.
Yeah. So first sort of 7 years of my life, and then to Brisbane.
Yeah, nice. I've got a really cute photo of you.
Oh yes.
That
was
cute.
my kindergarten
Oh
photo. Yeah. So
Flares.
yeah, that was pretty cute back then.
Yeah. Oh. So how many siblings?
Two.
Two siblings.
Twin brother and an older sister.
Cool. What's it like having a twin?
Has its ups and downs.
Yeah.
I think everybody thinks, oh, twin, like that's so awesome.
Yeah, but not really.
No, we've had our clashes.
Yeah.
But no, I think now we're sort of getting to a point where we're becoming close again. So like little kids, it was awesome, and then sort of teenage years, less awesome, and then coming back to awesome again.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. Who was born first?
He was.
Damn.
10 minutes.
Oh,
Never let me forget it.
I always, the Willisey twins always, can't even remember who's older. I think it might be Emma, actually.
I thought it was Emma as well. Yeah.
And Emma always, like, told her.
Yeah.
Don't forget I'm older than you. Like, respect your elders sort of thing. It's funny. It's funny as.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So you started, growing up, did you play any other sports, or was it kind of always keen eye for soccer?
It's been pretty much soccer. Like, I played other sports through school, but in terms of outside of, like, school sport, it was just soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Toyed with the idea of playing, like, hockey.
Oh, yeah.
But stuck with soccer, and I think that was a good decision.
Yeah. Often, like, I had a friend that plays hockey, and I was thinking, like, it's not very common. Like, that's over in another state. I'm like, here in SA, it's kind of like, I don't know. You don't really hear much about it.
Yeah, I don't think it's super common, but the rules are quite similar to soccer.
Yeah.
So I think that was sort of something that, like, drew me to it a little bit.
Is there 11 on the pitch as well?
I think so, yeah. And they have, like, an offside sort of similar rule.
And then they play that weird, like, corner thing that they mostly score. It is pretty cool. I watch it, like, with the Olympics and stuff. Obviously, the top level's cool to watch.
Yes.
But yeah, cool. So 2009, got another photo here. Selected for the Westfield Matildas, under 14 girls, the Asian Football Confederation Festival held in Vietnam.
Yeah.
So you played with girls who's there, Lana Kennedy, Brianna Davey, Natalie Tobin.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was an awesome experience. It was my first time ever going overseas to start with, and to go to an Asian culture like Vietnam was such a culture shock for me.
Yeah.
And I went over there by myself, like my family or parents didn't come either.
Yeah,
so that was crazy. And just playing against different countries and playing with some amazing players that, some of them now are Matildas and regular Matildas.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I really enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun.
So you hadn't been overseas before that?
No.
No. So straight in.
Yeah.
Over Vietnam.
Yeah, that was interesting. We got off the plane and into this sort of minibus, I suppose. And we had our luggage like sitting on luggage and luggage on top of our laps. And it was just down the like center aisle and everything. It was so crazy. And then the bus is just like on the horn the whole time going through the streets because there's little mopeds everywhere. And I'm like, we're going to kill someone.
Where am I?
Yeah.
What is this? So under 14s, were you, I guess, 14, or were you a bit younger? Or
I think I was 13.
Yeah, that's pretty young.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's awesome.
Yeah. It was, good memories on that
trip.
Good
experience. Yeah, for sure. 2013, Eastern Suburbs Football Club.
Yep.
I don't know if this is no. I must have missed that photo. I had a photo, but it's not here. Yeah, so that your first sort of club, I guess, like growing up, or?
That was my first senior
Yeah.
club. So I was in Brisbane, eastern suburbs. And so I played just like a quick run of my clubs. Juniors, Sunshine Coast was Kawana Waters, and then moved to Brisbane and played Southside Eagles in juniors, and then went across to eastern suburbs for, I suppose, the equivalent of like the junior NPL now. Okay. It was called something different then, but that's just showing how old I am now. But equivalent of that, and then moved in eventually into seniors at eastern suburbs. Yeah.
Damn, were you thinking about this, or
no?
Like that's pretty cool. Most people are like, and then I went there, and then I don't know where I went after that.
Yeah. Well, I suppose I haven't really been to like too many clubs, so it's kind of easy to follow it.
So you moved down to Brizzy, up to Brizzy, down to Brizzy, yeah. Yep. What was that for? Just sort of.
My dad's work moved, so we moved.
Yeah, sweet, easy.
Yeah,
no choice then.
No, yeah.
So then 2015 moved and signed for Adelaide United. So how did that move sort of come about? What brought you to SA?
So it had been a goal of mine to play in the W League at the time, now A-League Women's. And I had finished school, a couple of years out of school, was really sort of pushing for it. So I emailed basically every club.
Oh, yeah.
With sort of my soccer resume, just saying I'm really interested in playing if you're willing to have me trial.
Yeah.
So I managed to get trials with United and West Sydney Wanderers.
Okay.
So I came to Adelaide trial first, and there was 3 other Brisbane girls who came the same year, so we all came together. We stayed what I now know is one of the dodgiest motels in Mansfield Park. We stayed there in one room. I slept on the floor. It was if I knew what I knew now, I would never do that again.
Oh my god.
But it's an experience. So and we flew down for one day, like overnight, for this trial. It was meant to be what we thought was a 1-day trial. It was a 2-day trial, but we had already booked our flights back because we weren't told that it was 2 days.
Oh god.
And so at the end of the first day of the trial, they were like, see you back tomorrow. And we were all like, what? Like, what do you mean? We've got a flight this afternoon.
You didn't tell us this.
Yeah. So we missed the second day, but all 4 of us ended up getting signed eventually.
Oh, wow.
But between there, I also went and trialled for West Sydney and drove from Brisbane down to West Sydney, which was interesting, by myself. And that was the longest drive that I'd done by myself. So did that, and I trialled horribly at West Sydney. I had new skins and I put them on because it was cold and they were too tight. And so my calves and my legs were just I couldn't run. They were so tight that I couldn't run halfway through So that was horrible. But luckily, got signed for Adelaide, and I got the phone call. I think it was a Thursday, and they were like, "You're on the flight on Saturday." I had a couple of days' notice.
Oh my gosh.
And my dad was overseas at the time. So I messaged him and was like, "Oh yeah, I'm not going to be here when you get back. I'm going to Adelaide for the W League. I got signed." And so that was a whirlwind, but awesome. Yeah. And then I ended up here.
Yeah, good on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely hats off to people that kind of, put it all on the line and just nothing to lose, just message people and can relate there. So 10 games under Jamie Harnwell.
Yes.
A couple of picks here. How was that? So obviously you've got signed, you moved within a couple of days and then into it. So where did you train back then?
At the Shores.
Oh.
Yeah.
So had it been laid? The artificial? Okay.
Yep.
That must be that's got to be the first one, right?
I think so.
So when was that? That was
end of 2015.
Yeah, I reckon that'd be due to be done again, surely. Or coming up 10 years. I reckon it was even before that it got laid, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So the Shores, and then you lived in Mansfield.
No, so I got billeted out with a family, the Gale family.
Okay.
You know Emily Gale? She played
Oh,
for... Yeah,
no way.
her
I
family.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, is
so
that...
Sandra and Brian.
Oh,
Brian was the goalkeeper coach for City this year.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful family. Yeah. Oh, I didn't
amazing
know.
family.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
And it's obviously at Westies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got billeted out with them. Then Em was a goalkeeper.
Yeah, right.
I think she was playing at City as a goalkeeper. I can't quite remember, but so yeah, she was in juniors still. She wasn't old enough yet to be in seniors, but they were amazing family. They treated me so well.
Aww.
I'm so grateful for them for all the time and effort that they put in and allowed me to stay in their house. So.
Yeah. Is that the same? Is she Burnside?
Yes.
There? Yeah. Nice. Awesome. What else we got here? So you obviously moved down to play 2 seasons at... one. So you played 1 year at United?
Yes.
Played 10 games?
Yes.
So were you kind of... Was it a matter of like every week at training you kind of... Obviously aiming to get in the squad, sort of. Where were you kind of sitting?
I think I was, for the start of the season, I was pretty comfortable in my position. Like I was, I felt like I was sort of the first pick. I was playing fullback at the time. I wasn't even playing centre back.
Right.
Yeah, I was playing left back, and sort of that was a really challenging year for me. I felt very. The most challenged ever. Obviously, it was a great league, the most challenged I've ever been as a player in terms of my ability and compared to others. Like coming up against players like Ash Sykes, who is insanely quick to begin with and skillful, and so you're battling with yourself to give them space, so because they're quicker than you, but also they're so skillful that you have to try and be close to shut them down. And and so as the season sort of progressed. I think that they just changed formation a little bit. My position got a little bit less secure, I suppose, and I missed. I started on the bench for a couple games towards the end of the season, and then actually got put on from the bench as a striker against Perth at the Shores for one of the last games of the season. So
right.
That was.
How'd you go up there?
I think I did all right. I didn't score or anything, but I think I did okay.
Yeah, right.
So I think that's why Simon knew that I'd be all right as a striker this year as well, because he was the assistant coach that year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So was that... So the year after, was that kind of... So you didn't play for them again?
No, I...
as a contract
had
player?
a lot of work commitments that I had started a new job that year that sort of took away. Yeah. And... I also didn't really push too much at that time. That time, in the league as well, there's just the money was not feasible to play, especially as somebody who moved states, was fending for myself. At that point, it then became I need to earn money, sort of thing. So that became a bigger priority, which is unfortunate because I would have loved to have continued playing. But then I started a job that I loved, and so then that took precedent, and I didn't end up playing the next season. Yeah.
Well, good on you though. At least you can say you've done it.
Yeah.
Ticked it off.
Yes.
One and done. So then 2 seasons at Adelaide Uni, where you played alongside Cote, who you've spent a lot of your career next to.
Yes.
So why Adelaide Uni? Got a picture of you two there.
Yeah, great photo.
Yeah.
I can't remember why specifically. I think, Laura Johns, I knew her, and there was a couple other girls that I think at the time were sort of in and around the United team that also played for uni. Yeah. And so I went out to uni to trial, and Tracy Jenkins was the coach. Yep. And I thought she was a great coach, and so it sort of just fell in really nicely. And we had a great team at the time. I think the team that we had over those 2 years that I was there, we were unfortunate to not do better, but we were up there. I think top 5, top 4 sort of thing. Yeah, both just years.
Consistent sort of club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember. I think that was when. What was that? 2016. Oh no, I would have been at Westies by then. But yeah, sort of always that team that was never easy against them sort of thing.
Yeah.
2016, you scored 5 goals.
Mm-hmm.
Was that from centre back? Are they headers?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, you and your headers.
Yeah. I think most of them would have been headers. Yeah. Maybe a couple like free kicks. Yeah.
Nice. Got injured that year though. Do you remember?
No.
No. It's probably you must have had. You only played a certain amount of games.
Yeah. Right.
2017, you scored 2, and then 2018 moved to Salisbury Inter, where you've been ever since.
Yes.
So was that the same year that Tracy sort of moved there?
Yeah, there was a lot of political things happening at uni.
Yeah.
Tracy moved to Salisbury, and I changed clubs for quite a few reasons, but one of them was Tracy. One of them was the political issues happening, and then a couple other ones as well. But I think it was a good decision. I'm pretty happy with it considering where I am now. So
yeah. So then you've been at Inter ever since. So I often wonder, how is it, because you train in Salisbury there.
Yeah.
That's on grass.
Yes.
And then you play on the synthetic. Does that sort of, do you reckon that's a disadvantage or not really?
Not for me personally, I don't think. If anything, I think that going from training on grass where you have those inconsistencies in the bounce and the ball dribbling and all of that sort of thing, and then to go onto such a true field that's a synthetic, you almost, I suppose, like a little bit more equipped because you're used to having inconsistencies, and then it's all true and fair, and so it's sort of,
that makes sense.
It just feels nicer, and so you feel like you can play better because you're on a better field. And I've never really had any major issues with going between the two. If anything, I actually prefer playing on synthetic, and any time that we play on grass, like when we play at City, I hate it. I don't know why, it just makes my legs feel really heavy every single time, even though we train on grass. But it's just...
Yeah, match day's so different though. Yeah. I've got to agree, playing at City's not my favourite. That's the only grass pitch we'd play on, right?
Yeah.
So but they have an artificial pitch there, so I often wonder. But it's cool facility and stuff there.
Yes.
But not a fan of the grass.
No.
2019 and 2020 United season, a train on under Ivan.
Yep.
How was that? Was that kind of obviously sort of pushing for that again, or were you just happy sort of being in that environment?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd be lying if I said I wasn't pushing for it again. I don't think many people would just go out there at the age that I was anyway.
Yeah, for the 5 days or whatever it is a week.
Yeah. And that was, again, a big challenge for me, fitting in work and that. Mm-hmm. And towards the end of it, I sort of fell away from the training and, again, pushed more towards the work side. But I really enjoyed it. It was good. Again, it was a challenge for me personally, and my skill and my ability, which I enjoy. It sort of just reminds me and pushes me a bit. I think I can get a little bit settled and lazy, I suppose. And I enjoyed that, being pushed again. And I do enjoy that sort of semi-professional to professional environment. It was good, and I would have loved to been able to play again, but that's just not how it went. And so I relished the opportunities that I was given to just train with them, and it was good.
So was that for the full season?
I think for the most part, like I said, I fell away sort of a little bit towards the end of the season, just because the commitments of work and training almost 5 times a week was becoming quite hard for me, and sleep was an issue and all that. So I did fall away a little bit at the end. That's purely my own decisions that I made. So well, again, hats off to you, because it's not easy. I mean, this is probably over 10 years ago now. I was a train on, and I guess like being in that environment, and then seeing them all fly out and play, and it's kind of like yes,
kind of sucks, but obviously lucky to be there. But definitely not an
is
easy
hard to
thing.
float that line of sort of like feeling like you're a part of it, but then also a little bit not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll see you when you get back. Good
Yeah.
luck. Like.
Yeah.
Simon Cadder. So he's rocked up at Inter, 21 season.
Yep.
So I had here, did you know him before? So you knew him from assistant. So I can imagine you were pretty excited when he got that gig.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'd sort of had a couple of like WhatsApp conversations with him, and because that was sort of peak COVID time where he was still trying to get back into Adelaide, so he wasn't even in Adelaide.
Yes.
Initially.
From Spain, right?
Yes. Yeah. And so had a couple of WhatsApp conversations with him and FaceTime conversations with him, and I was really excited and looking forward to him coming in and putting his part on the team that was shaping up to be a great one.
Yeah. So he was obviously a ridiculous player. He's had a great career.
Yes.
I kind of know him from back 10 years ago. So he was the senior men's coach at Power Hills Knights.
Yeah.
Before I moved to West, and so when I saw someone like him come into the women's game, I thought that was pretty cool and kind of a big thing. So yeah. So that season last year, let's talk about that season. Ooh. Yeah, I feel better now. It's fine.
Yeah.
So shared captaincy with Nicole Calder.
Yeah.
How did you decide who was going to be captain for the grand final? Did you just take it in turns?
I think we did half.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So she was first half, I was second half.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, because I remember, I must have shook hands with her.
Yeah.
And then I saw like a picture.
With me with the band on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, that didn't make any sense. But that's funny. So was that just, you didn't often do that throughout the year? It was kind of like
we
take it in turns?
went game by game throughout the year. And I think her and I work great as a co-captaincy. We both have strengths and weaknesses that are sort of almost opposite to each other. So I think that works really well, and neither of us, I suppose, have an ego big enough that we're wanting to push the other one aside or out at all. So it was not a hard decision at all for us to say half each.
Yeah.
And that was sort of just
almost
didn't need to be said.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I hadn't really ever seen that before. So tell me the year of the treble, because history making for Salisbury Inter.
Yes.
How was that leading up to that grand final?
Oh, it was unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you completely understand it now.
Yeah.
There's not really much better as a player than to have such a successful year like that. And not only that, the team that we had was such a great team. I personally really enjoyed it as well because there was, I suppose, more of a lean towards your older players, I suppose, for lack of a better phrase, in the team. So it was just, we all gelled really well. The trainings were really fun, even though they were really intense, and that just flowed on into our games. And it was every game, even the games that we didn't quite perform as good as we wanted to, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that season a lot.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's talk about that grand final.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon it's probably the best grand final in WMPL, I think.
It was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Regardless of the result, just the game in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess we can relate sort of as captains, being out there just mentally, it's just like, you're kind of like, this is so hard, but kind of just get up and about and
I think I played horribly personally in that fight. Like I did not feel great at all. It's funny because in the warm up I felt great.
Yeah,
I was like, I feel so good, and I felt like everybody else was a little bit sluggish in our warm up. Like I didn't think that we had a very good warm up at all, and I was like, oh no, like this doesn't like feel like everybody's ready, sort of thing. But I felt great, and then got out on the pitch, and I was like, oh god, I feel so sluggish. Like it was, but I think that's one of my personal strengths that I am quite proud of, is that even regardless of how I'm playing physically, that I can still have that ability to influence the players around me just with, I suppose, my presence and my ability to communicate with them.
Yeah, for sure. Probably didn't help you feeling sluggish that we went 1-0 up. What was it, 2 minutes?
Yeah, early.
Lucky, kind of lucky. I whipped the cross in. It came off Mina.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So we were, we would have been we were the underdogs. So
Yeah.
you guys, obviously your team was wild. Our team.
Your team was pretty
was
good
very
too.
good too. But I just think, like, if you put it side to side, you'd been scoring a crazy amount of goals.
Yes.
And so we went 1-0 up, and I was thinking, like, oh my gosh, like you always think, like, believe you can do it, but I think it's not, like, it's until you're out there and you're like,
Yes.
okay, we're actually winning.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, but now we've got, like,
A whole game.
88 minutes to
Yes.
sort of play. So then you guys equalised off a corner.
Just before, like, not too long before half time.
Yeah. So we held the first half, and then
Yes.
even going in half time 1-0 was massive.
Yes. Yeah, and to be honest, that first goal that went in, I wasn't too worried, not to sound arrogant or anything like that, but I knew that we had been scoring lots of goals, like you said, and I knew that as a whole structure defensively that we were solid. So I knew that we had a big chance of getting back into the game, which we did just before halftime. So I 2 minutes in and conceding a goal, it shakes you a little bit, especially being a grand final. You go, oh no, like, is this going to, like, are the gates just going to open?
Yeah.
But I suppose the year that we'd had sort of helped me personally settle and just be like, no, there's still heaps of time in this game. The team that we've got, we're going to score. We're going to score 9 times out of 10. So it's just keep going. Yeah. And then, thankfully, going. I think if it had gone in halftime 1-0 down, maybe it would have been a slightly different story.
That's what I mean. Goals just before halftime is so crucial.
Yes.
Like, you can score early, but then if you don't hold it to the half, it's kind of like, back to square one. But then, we scored again early.
Yes.
Came out firing.
Yes.
There's a photo of me. You've probably seen it, and I'm just, like, so pumped up. I was like, this is the year, like, it's finally going to happen, we're going to win. And then, sad face. But so it was 2-1 for quite a while again.
Yes.
And then the 70th minute, you guys equalised, and then, what was it? 88.
88 or something like that.
Condon,
Cheeky
to
header from
Cote,
Cote.
Great goal. I was like, I can't even be that mad.
To be honest, if I was going to put odds on Cote scoring, I wouldn't put head ever.
No.
Ever.
Yeah.
And that's no disrespect to Cote, because I know that she is quite skillful and can use her head well, but in terms of her height and all of that, head would be the last thing that I would say she'd score from.
Yeah.
So.
No. But and Sienna too. Like,
she played
Sienna,
amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
She had her, like, that was her, like blatantly Cote. Like, you've got the engine.
Every game.
Stay on her.
Every game that we played against you guys that whole year, that battle was awesome to watch.
And I think they, like, had a cute moment after, like, Sienna was bawling and Cote was they were, like, hugging, and I just thought it was really nice. But tough, but just put more fire in the belly, which thankfully this year.
Yeah.
So can relate now.
Yes.
So this year, so obviously different team, big outs, Condon, Pritchard, Chrissa, Cote for half the year, although still polled top 3.
Yeah.
Wild. She polled above me. I was like, what the hell? She's played like...
Yeah, I know.
I think she played like 12, but still, that's crazy. You're doing well. Unfortunately for you, early August did your ACL. We were so sad. Like, Westie's chat was like, Chants did her knee. Like, so sad. So where was that? Was that at training or?
No, it was in a game. It was against City. It was our last round game against City.
Oh, yeah.
And we needed to beat them to go second.
Oh.
Not that it changed anything in terms of finals, because obviously second and third sort of had the same situation.
Yeah.
But it was first half, like 25 minutes in or something, we were 1-0 up. And, I won the ball at halfway, actually, and made like an attacking run. And Tassie was running across the line, and I've opened up to play a through ball to her into the box. And then after I've played it, I've planted my foot, and then, click. See you later.
So you knew?
No. I felt a pop. I didn't hear anything, but I thought, I was like, oh, I've done something, but I thought it might have been like my outside ligament, not necessarily my ACL.
Okay.
I wasn't in excruciating pain or anything like that. All the things that I've heard,
it just didn't match.
It just didn't match, and I was like, I knew that I'd done something, because I walked off the pitch. I wanted to go back on, obviously, because that's just who I am. Trying to get the physio to strap me up, and then
strap her up just fine.
Yeah, and then it collapsed one time, and I was like, oh no, I can't.
Damn.
Yeah, and then so I was just sat there,
thank you, man.
And I was like, oh, maybe it's not, and I'm not sure, but then a couple of days later, went and got the scan, and full tear.
Damn. So that's been what, 2 months?
Yeah, it's been. I had surgery 7 days after I did it,
nice and
and
quick.
so it's been 8 weeks and a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who's counting?
Not that I'm counting. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask. You sound pretty positive. Obviously, it's a massive thing that unfortunately some of us go through, especially in the soccer world. So how's the experience been? So did you stay involved with Inter as much as you could, or did you kind of take some time off to, look after yourself mentally and, all that sort of stuff?
Sort of a bit of both.
Yeah.
I wanted to stay involved with the club as much as I could. Our team was severely depleted at that time. I'm sure anybody in the team especially would agree with me. We'd had some massive outs, not just from the start of the year, but also throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like the team just needed that extra head of experience, which especially in comparison to what our team was, I was that.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely wanted to stay involved. Also, the club means a lot to me. So, and we were still very much in a race for finals and sort of hoping that we could do a metro and come from the bottom and do something amazing. But in contrast to that, I did need time just to sort of have that realization of the amount of time that it was going to take to recover. And this is probably the most serious injury that I've ever had. It involves surgery, which is the first surgery that I've ever had. So there was a lot going with that. It also impacted my personal life and my work life as well a fair bit. So that I was juggling with all that, and also just getting around is next to impossible.
Yeah, damn.
So that I did miss. It was, I suppose, mostly trainings that I missed, and I did go out to a few here and there, but
that's totally understandable.
I definitely had time to myself.
Yeah, I guess the good thing is you can curl up at home and watch it on MPL TV sometimes.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. We can do that now.
Yeah, I was really lucky as well because my dad had already had plans to fly down from Brisbane to Adelaide.
So they're still up there.
Yeah, all my family's all in Brisbane still. So so it was really sort of fortunate and unfortunate, the timing, but so he flew in the day of my surgery.
Yeah, right.
And that was unplanned. That was just coincidence.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, good to see you doing well. I'm sure you've got a lot of good support network around you.
Definitely. And everybody reached out to me from the football community. It was amazing. I had a massive amount of messages from so many people that I was really grateful for that.
Yeah. Oh. Total of 14 goals from centre back. Is that all time? Would that be all time? How many of those do you think were headers? You would have had more than that.
Yeah, I would like to think that I've had more than 14.
But that'd probably be 14 headers.
But I would say 80% headers.
Yeah. Off corners from Mina.
Yeah. But
Damn.
I have pulled off a few just awesome goals in my time. One specifically that I remember against Uni, my first year at Salisbury, after moving from Uni to Salisbury, and we were playing on the back pitch at Parks.
Yeah.
And we were 2-2, and it was like extra time, and I've run through and won the ball, made an attacking run, did a couple 1-2s and hit it from sort of like edge of the 18-yard box, and it went top corner.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is there a video of it?
I think there is video of it, yeah.
Just send it to me. I love that.
Yeah, but so
Right
there's a couple littered of some pretty epic goals that I'm proud of that I suppose you could borderline on fluky, but borderline not. But yeah, so those ones are always better. Like the headers are great. I love scoring the headers, but sometimes to get one on your boot is pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I don't know if you saw on my Instagram, I've got a video of when I was talking to Ness.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
yes.
I don't score headers. And that week, I think it was like the day after.
Yes,
I scored a header, and I was like, I don't even remember the last time I scored a header. Like, it's crazy. Which is interesting because I guess it's because I'm normally taking the corners.
Yeah.
If you were to look at me, I guess I've got the height, and you'd probably think, oh, you probably could, but I don't know. Probably not my biggest strength. Whatever. I like hitting them on the feet.
Yeah. Fair enough.
You scored. So we had a 2-2 draw this year, which was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible second half from us. But also one of the only teams to sort of take points off us, which was, a really good effort. So you were playing up front.
Yep.
And you scored.
Yes.
So I got two things to say about that goal, right?
Okay.
So first one, what a finish.
Thank you.
Well done. Like, obviously the run through, compose yourself and just buried it in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Second, how close were you to being offside? Have you watched it?
I have watched it many times, to be honest.
On loop.
Because I am quite proud of that goal as well. That I would say is up there with one of my best goals.
Was it against Annie?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
You scored against Annie Grove, man.
Yeah.
Come on, that's
I think
massive.
It was a very tight line. I like to think that I time my run perfectly. And yeah, so I think it would be borderline, and I'm sure that depending on the linesman, depending on the situation, it could have been called either way, but it went my way, so I'll take it, and I'll call it a perfect run. To all those strikers as a centre back, I can just follow my lead.
Not easy to do. See, now it's not easy.
100%.
I mean, you made it look extremely easy. I think at the time I didn't even consider you being offside, and then when I watched the footage, I was like, that is the most perfectly timed. It just worked. I think Tassie drove. And then
yes, kudos to Tassie for playing it at the perfect time.
Yeah,
and also, I think I've watched it a few times, and it does confuse me a little bit because I feel like the fact that I'm a defender playing a striker probably helped me because I feel like all of your players went straight to Tassie. Yeah. And nobody really had a thought of Chantelle's going to be an issue here. I feel like they were like, oh no, Tassie. Yeah. So I don't know I'm sure that probably didn't even come into their minds, and they all were just focused in the moment. But I felt like everybody, even Laura, came from my side and ran across and went over to Tassie. Yeah. And if she hadn't done that, even just one or two steps, because she almost caught me. Yeah. And same with Anna, she made a amazing run back. She was just she was going. And I think if I held it for a split second longer, I could have been tackled. But yeah, and I didn't know even if it was going to when I struck it. To be completely honest, I didn't know whether I'd hit it on target.
Straight in, I was like, "You're kidding!"
Because I fell over a little bit as I hit it, and then I looked up and I saw it hit the side, and I was like, "Yeah, nice."
Yeah, I'd definitely be proud of that goal. But yeah, I think we lost it on the halfway line.
Yes.
One of our centre backs, and then you guys just broke.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did review that, and I think LJ got not a spray, but
Yeah.
what are you doing? Like
Yeah.
coming over that far, whatever. Probably didn't think you were gonna,
Yeah.
you know, run down and welly it in.
Yeah.
You got a few tats, I've noticed. I never really see them here and there, but looking on your like Instagram and stuff.
Yep.
So how's that sort of start, or any sort of stories behind that, or just like them?
No, so my first ever tattoo I got when I was 18, which is on my ribs, and it's some lilies and a little quote that says second wind. So my mum passed away when I was younger of cancer, and she used to tell me before every soccer game, remember your second wind sort of thing.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, which is just like her version of a second burst of energy to keep going when you're feeling sort of down and out a bit. So that was the first tattoo that I ever got.
Oh.
Not super approved by my dad.
I was gonna ask what were the thoughts from the dad.
He knew I was getting it. I went with my auntie, my mum's sister, and I don't think he realised the size of what it was going to be. I think he thought it was just going to be this like small little thing, and it ended up being almost from my hip up to it's pretty big. And so when I got home, he wasn't very impressed. But
oh my god,
it means a lot to me. So
yeah,
and he's sort of gotten used to it now. I
yeah,
suppose I've got so many.
Too
So
bad.
but yeah, so that was the start of it.
Yeah.
And then
addictive, right? They say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And pretty much all of my tattoos have a big meaning to me. A lot of them are to do with my mum, but just in general my life. So.
Oh, that's really sweet. I didn't know that. Yeah. Oh, cool. All right. Well, we have our Isn't That Wild fact, which is completely random, but I do it anyway.
Yep.
Popsicles were accidentally invented by an 11-year-old boy. So he left a wooden stirring stick like in his drink.
Yeah.
And overnight, and then that must have been outside, and then it was frozen, and then from there, who would have thought?
Hey. And look at us now,
yeah.
hey?
Dream team.
Yep. Okay.
Yep, let's do it.
All right.
Hope you've been thinking about this.
Yeah. I have and I haven't. I suppose I'm a little bit hindered that I've only got the players that I've known and played around from when I moved here. So keep that in mind for...
Did I give you that one?
No, that was...
Oh,
you didn't.
I've got, one photo here of Cutters and Nick and Ryder holding that cup that I so badly wanted in the grand final last year. All right, let's do it.
All right.
Do you know who your coach is? I'll do that last.
See, this is a tough one for me. I think I will have to go Tracy.
Oh, yeah?
Because, one of the 6 or so seasons that I've played here, she coached 4 of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's
part of it.
Massive part of it.
Yeah.
Great coach.
Yeah, she's awesome.
So, and to be honest, if there was another couple of years with Katter, he probably would have overtaken. But that's just how it is at the moment. So Tracy,
hey, it's your
TJ
decision.
gets it.
TJ, nice.
I'll start at the back because I think that's where the most important people are.
Come on.
Obviously. So I'm going to go CR McLaren, Macca.
Yep. This is a common occurrence in this.
I'm just going to go initials.
Yeah, that's fine, mate.
Yeah.
I'll work out the codes after.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, she obviously was keeper at Inter when I first moved there for the first couple of years. Amazing goalkeeper. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, plagued with a few injuries over the years that I was there.
Yeah.
But yeah, great all round keeper. Great personality to have in a team. So yeah, I don't think I could really go past her.
Nice.
Centre backs, obviously myself. Can't disclude myself from it, you know.
Put yourself in there. I love that.
Yep.
Well, you want to play in this team.
Exactly. Right? I'm not going to put out what I think's a dream team and not be a part of it. That would just be depressing.
So smart. No one else has done that yet. I love that.
Yeah. And again, that's not taken away from any other centre backs because there are some amazing centre backs out there. But I want to be part of it.
Yeah,
so
that's totally fair.
And it's my team, so I get to choose.
No, too bad.
Yeah. Next to me, I've got to go my co-captain, Nicole.
Yeah.
I think we're a great team. Her and I, we work so well together. So yeah, I wouldn't want to have anybody else next to me at centre back. We're solid in there, and I think most people would agree that us two together is pretty hard combo to beat.
Yep, for sure.
My side fullback, this one has been sort of tossed up a little bit for me, between Mina and LJ, Laura.
Oh yeah.
Because they're both great.
Yeah.
And again, this is quite a recent memory, so I'm sure if I thought about it more, I'll think of other fullbacks that I've played with or against that have been great. But it's been between those two, and I went with Mina because I think she's one of the most underrated players.
Oh, for sure.
And you would probably know,
Mina,
yeah.
She spent 2 years at West.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been 3. I think in 2016.
Yeah.
She moved over.
I think
16, 17. When did she move to Inter? Maybe 3 years at West. 16, 17, 18, and then 19, 20, 21, 20, fourth year at Inter. Wow, that's flown.
I know, hasn't it? Yeah.
The cool thing about her is she only started playing,
I know,
late 20s?
Yes.
So she's like, I'm just going to move to Adelaide and play soccer. I actually should get her on here. Her story would be really interesting.
I definitely think that would be great. And she's a character. She's so good.
She's
so many people don't get to know Mina because she is quite a quiet soul. Yeah. But when you actually get her and sit her down and have a conversation with her, she's a cracker.
Yeah, she is.
She's solid.
A lovely human.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll go right back now, just keeping in the back line. This one was another tough decision. I think wide players in general are just so hard to pick because they're such important players in both attack and defence. But I went with M. Hodge for this one.
Hodgie.
Yeah.
I think she's been in 90% of these teams because she's just unreal. She's just getting better and better. Yeah. Yeah. She's still so young too.
Yes.
22 or 3.
And I can't remember which game it was. I think it was the game that we played on the third pitch at Jeps Cross against you guys. I want to say the cup game.
Yeah.
And she just tore us apart that game. She would just pick the ball up and run across the whole field, and our team would just be so she's an amazing player. Yeah. So I had to put
agree more.
Her in there. Number 6 is a really important player, especially as a centre back, because they're your sort of link and also your backup as well, to help you out if you get pulled out of position a little bit. Mm-hmm. It depends also on what type of formation you're going to play, and also how you want to play, because different sixes have different strengths and what you want.
I'm loving the thought you're putting into this. It's so good.
This is also my form of stalling, so I can further think about who I want to put in.
Nearly choked on my water. Come on, who is it?
I'm going to put Chrissa in there.
Oh, lovely. I love Chrissa.
So, I'll just, her name's easier.
No, can you write her last name
for me?
CP.
Yeah. Having her as our 6, especially at the 21 season, she did such a role for us. That was such a selfless role and helped Nicole and I out so much. And so she's won herself a spot in there.
Love it.
Attacking mids, I'm going to go Dylan Holmes.
Yep. Can't go past her.
She is a quality player.
Yep.
Love Dylan. She's such a nice person as well. So, can't go past her. And then I'm going to go Nano on the other side.
Nano. Nice. Another common player in these dream teams.
Yeah.
She's unreal.
She's very good. And I think, I don't know why, I feel like those 3 would just work well together as well.
Yeah. I wish we could
put it together.
Get this to happen. Who had a team and it was from everyone was in different countries, had Jenna McCormick, Charlie Grant. It's like, good luck getting that team together.
Yeah.
But
yeah, sorry, Jenna, you didn't make my team because I put myself in there. So
Jenna, you're on the bench.
yeah, you can be backup, Jenna. I'm gonna go left wing first. I've put LJ here because she missed out on left fullback, and I think that she can equally do a spot.
So versatile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought it would be unfair for me to leave her out altogether because I rate her so highly. So yeah, she missed out on the left fullback, but she's got left striker.
Nice.
Cote, obviously, I'm going to put centre striker, same initials as me. So that's for starters. And
you guys can swap anyway by your goal against us. So.
I don't know about Cote as a centre back though. So
hey,
I feel like she'd be putting goals in our own net. So
that would be interesting.
Yeah.
And look very short next to Nick.
Yeah. Nah, I wouldn't.
Let's make it happen.
No, I wouldn't.
I'll tell.
I just wouldn't do it.
Oh, it'll happen.
And she knows that. Right winger. There's so many choices for strikers. And even now I'm sort of tossing between multiple players.
Stalling again.
Yeah, well, a little bit. I'm going to go Quiggs.
On the wing.
I know, it's an odd one.
She's known for her speed, so.
Yeah. Look, I don't think maybe that's
a joke,
the wing necessarily is.
Why don't you swap them two?
Because I like Cote better in the centre, and I think that Quiggs also has the ability to M. Hodge is going to be getting up and around, so if anything, Quiggs will be coming back into the centre more often than not. Also, with the midfield that we've got of Dylan and Nano, I think that that rotation will cover enough any sort of traditional wing that you would expect of up and down the line, and more push Quiggs into the middle and in front of goal a bit more.
Wow, you should be a coach.
Nah. I tried it and
no,
wasn't
not
for me.
A fan.
Nah.
Oh, I'm very into it. I love it. Cool.
That's my team.
Do you want to put me on there?
Look, it was a tough decision, but you know, it's there's only 11 spots and there's only technically 3, I suppose, that you can fit
put me
in.
at centre back.
You can sit next to Jenna.
Bench. Woo!
Yeah. You can sit next to Jenna and know that still a quality player, but just missed out. You know,
because you're on there.
Because I'm on there. Yeah, and who knows? It could put Mina in the centre, put LJ left back, chuck me up front.
The possibilities are endless.
Mate, this team is just so good. You can put anyone anywhere.
Oh my gosh!
Even put Macca up front. She called for that all the time. I'll jump in goals.
Absolutely. Let's move everyone around.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, you got through that.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Got through the ep. Wasn't too scary, was it?
No, it's all right.
I don't bite.
I'm not too fussed with conversations.
You like chatting. That's fine.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, though. Really appreciate it.
No problem. We'll wrap it up there. That's actually concluded our first season. So thanks so much for listening, and keep an ear out and an eye out of what's next. See you guys.